I'm here at the student kitchen in the Mosley Center. Eric Halperin is joining me. Today we're going to make a healthy dessert. What are we making, Eric?
Today we're actually making a quinoa apple cake. Have you ever used quinoa before?
I have not used quinoa, so before we get started, Eric, let's be men in the kitchen and let's get rid of these things.
Get rid of those ties.
It is early in the morning, so we just got to make sure we're set up right and ready to go. So first, before we even mix any of this stuff together, we've got our quinoa here. We've boiled that for about 10 minutes in some water and then drained it and set it aside so it's good to go. So before we do anything else, that's what we want to do with the quinoa. What do you want to do with the apples?
Well, over here we already have one apple completely cut up, and I'm going to cut this one up while Mez is mixing up some stuff. What are you going to be mixing over
I'll
there?
be mixing up our dry ingredients. So while you go ahead and cut, I'll be over here. Start off, we'll take our cup of flour and mix it inside of a bowl with some pre-measured for me cinnamon, nutmeg, and baking powder. And that's real easy, and all we've just got to do is quickly mix that together. Eric, how are those apples?
They are coming along nicely. Mez, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
What makes quinoa healthy? Do you know? Or
it is high in protein, and it is just one of those good superfoods right there with kale, so you might want to just try throwing that in some of your lunch now and then. But while you're still hurrying up and finishing on those apples, I've got some brown sugar and raisins here that I'm going to mix together with a stick of melted butter. And that shouldn't be too long. And then the reason why we're mixing our dry ingredients separately from our wet ingredients is so that when we add the dry ingredients, it starts the reaction process that's going to help all the ingredients rise whenever we bake this actual cake.
I was going to ask you why you mix certain ways, but you already answered.
Eric, it's time to mix our quinoa in with our brown sugar raisins. And there we go, looking good.
Almost done over here with these apples.
Ready for the apples?
Yep.
All right, good.
I
think it's time to bring it in. Eric, why do you think it's important to have healthy dessert as opposed to just jumping right into some chocolate? Have we been doing any workouts recently?
Well, we've been doing insanity lately, so we've been trying to focus on our healthy eating habits.
Jumping on the exercise train.
Sean T has been motivating us big time.
I like it. So I'm just mixing all this together.
All right. What can I do in the meantime?
You want to grab the pan over there?
Yeah, let's butter
Bring
it up.
that over. Cool. We've got our pan, and let's go ahead and add our dry ingredients to all this nice mixture. Cool. So we got that in there, and perfect. Cool. So this is essentially a very simple dessert. All you have a few ingredients. I say you can budget out at a convenient supermarket to make this about $10 to $12 dessert together. So once we have all of this mixed together, we are going to actually...
We should have brought our brush for this buttering the pan, but we forgot today.
So you've got our pan, pre-cooked spray, or just doing some weird contraption that we have there, and pouring our mixture right in there. And then once this is in the pan, Eric, what are we going to do? Putting it in the oven?
We have our oven preheated to 350 degrees. Let's even that out a little bit there, Mez.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And then we're going to let it in there for about an hour.
Much better for you?
This is already looking good. I don't know, Mez, you know.
So as you see, it didn't take much to mix all of this stuff together, but we've got a nice good batch of mixed cake there. And then once we put that in the oven and bake it for about 50 minutes, it's going to come out looking like this. And here is our quinoa apple cake. And like they do in all television shows, let me just go ahead and cut that there.
Can you cut me off a piece? I'm excited to try this.
There you go. To a healthy dessert and to better exercise. Good morning to you. Okay, back to you guys in the studio.